I have a relative who she's a lady, and then she got married. Eventually, she got citizenship, and then she got divorced from her previous husband. Now she got married. The question that she is trying to get clear is she did a joint tax filing with her previous husband. Though she worked, at that time she worked, but her husband didn't work. So she's asking if she can file for her previous husband with that tax return.
What do you mean previous husband? She's divorced? How do you file for a divorced husband?
No, she got married. She divorced, and now she's married again, right?
And the husband's now ex-husband's asking for an affidavit of support from his ex-wife?
No, the present husband. She's asking if she can use the tax return that she did, joint tax that she did with her former husband, if she can use it to petition for the present husband.
Yes, she would just have to separate what her income was and her ex-husband's income. That's all, of course. So your question is...
How is she going to do that?
Well, she has a W-2. Your question is...
Yes.
Your question is, this woman was married previously to a man sometime in the last 3 years, and during those last 3 years, to an ex-husband, she filed a joint tax return with him. She subsequently divorces this man, has to marries man number 2, but she needs to show 3 years tax returns in order to file for him.
Right.
She would show those joint tax returns. She would just have to be able to prove what was her income and what was her ex-husband's, and that would be from W-2s. If she doesn't have the W-2s, then she has to request it from the IRS copies.
Right, got you.
What is the filing requirement or for a sponsor, the money amount for a single person?
The first step is you got to be 125% above the poverty level for everyone you have to support. So if you're single with no dependents on your tax returns and you're filing for one human being in another country, it's a family of 2 people. You're over $23,000 a year, you're at 125% above the poverty level. Now, Donald Trump has changed the laws, at least certainly for consular processing. For adjustment, it's still the old laws. So for adjustment, it would end there. For consular processing, you now go to step 2, which is they weigh the positives and negatives. What are the positives? Well, how much income do you really earn? Is your husband of working age? Does he have the ability to be able to get a job when he comes to America? Does he have a job offer? Is he going to have medical insurance? Are you collecting government assistance from the government, whether it's Medicaid or food stamps? These are all positive and negative things that they will look into in addition to your income now.
Okay, so the person that's sponsoring us makes $40,000.
Where I didn't say 40,000. Did the word 40,000 ever come out of my mouth?
Pardon?
The word 40,000 never came out of my mouth. I said.
I just said. For a single person for 2 people,
then you are misunderstanding everything I said. So let me repeat again. The first step. This is for consular processing, meaning your husband's in another country. It's a 2-step process now. Step 1, which we're over here, is you have to go by the old affidavit of support rules. You got to be 125% above the poverty level. What's 125% above the poverty level for a family of 2, $22,000, $23,000, $24,000? If you earn that income, you're above the poverty level. Okay, 125%. Okay, that is step 1 now. Step 2, which is what Donald Trump instituted, is that you want to make sure that the person who's coming to America is going to be able to be self-sufficient, meaning that there is not a chance in hell that they will be collecting government assistance in the future. So what do they do to look at this? They have a balancing, positive factors, negative factors. So what are positive factors? That your petitioner earns a lot of money, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. Here, positive. Here's another positive factor. He has a job offer. He's going to be working. Positive. Here's another factor. He has an education, so he's capable of getting a job if this first job doesn't work out. Positive. He has a job that's offering him medical insurance. Therefore, he's not going to go on Medicaid, or he's going to be able to be included on his wife's medical insurance, or you've gone out and bought him medical insurance. Positive factors. Here's some negative factors. Wife's on Medicaid. Wife collects government assistance. He's elderly and he's not going to be working. He's under 18, is not going to be working. He has a medical condition that requires a lot of medical care. He's not able to work because he's disabled. Lots of negative factors. Wife lives in government housing. She can't afford her own housing, and now bringing in another human being into government housing. All negative factors, and they weigh it now. So it's not just simply how much you earn.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You understand?
And that's fine. I don't get any government assistance of any kind.
Great. So now the next step would be, does he have a job offer? Does he have medical insurance? And then is he of working age? Does he have an education? Yes. And then these are all positive factors. Then it should be okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brad.
You're very welcome.
So let me tell you my background real quick. I came here on F1 visa back in 2014, and I applied for asylum, and I got approved in 2015, right?
Uh-huh.
Then after 1 year, I applied for my 485, and 10 months after I applied for my 485, they transferred it to an asylum office and try to contact the Congress. And
how long has your adjustment been pending? You got granted asylum. You filed for adjustment. How long has your adjustment been pending?
Yeah, so it was almost 3 years, but last month I filed the mandamus.
And what happened?
And yesterday I appeared for interview. They sent me an interview, and the interview went.
How long did it take from the mandamus to an interview?
1 month or less.
Exactly. And we'll get to your interview in a second. What a mandamus does, because I say this all the time, it forces the government to give you an interview. It doesn't mean you get a green card. It just means you get your case moving again. And you did this, and you got an interview. Now what happened?
Right. Okay, then I went to the interview, and the interview was very smooth. And after I finished my interview, the officer told me I should have brought my medical because it already expires.
Okay.
And she said, she need RFE for that. And today, this morning, when I checked my status, it says it's transferred back to an asylum office.
All right. So that means maybe they're screwing you over again. You submitted your medical? You submitted your medical?
No, I didn't. She told me I have to submit
All
medical.
Right. So did they give you a letter to submit the medical?
No, she was about to send me the letter, but she said her system wouldn't allow us to upload or something.
So now what you have to do is wait 120 days for them to send you a letter for the medical. Okay. When you get the letter, go do your medical, submit it back. Then you got to wait another 120 days for a decision. If the letter doesn't come within 120 days, or if you submit your medical and it's still another 120 days, guess what you got to do? Another mandamus.
Oh, another mandamus?
Yeah. You have to keep doing it until they approve you. All right? Because this mandamus forced an interview, and then after that, they can send it back and your case will be buried again. So if there's a lesson to be learned here, after you do the mandamus, be prepared to show up with a perfect case to be approved.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. So now wait 120 days. If you don't get you don't get a letter for the medical, not a mandamus, you'll get another interview, and then you bring the medical to that interview, and then there's nothing to argue anymore. Okay, and
one thing I noticed is, Brad, when I see the file, they open the file when they interview, right? And the file looks like, they haven't checked it, they haven't checked anything. There wasn't nothing marked on the application that I submitted.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and it looks like nobody checked the application for this long.
Welcome to America. Welcome to immigration. No, your application was collecting debts for 3 years.
Exactly,
They look at it when you show up. Absolutely.
Exactly, and the officer was very nice, and it looked like she confirmed nobody checked it.
That's correct.
And she said she going she said she gonna fix the issue quick. Right. But what I've seen this morning is really frustrating because I was not expecting this.
Right. Well, you may have to do a second mandamus. Let's see what happens. See, every time immigration does something, and then they say, okay, you need something else, whether you got to wait on a decision or you got to wait on an RFE, they have 120 days to do it. So now unfortunately, you got to wait it out and see what happens.
Yeah, and even, by the way, she said I can, mail it to the office?
Don't mail anything.
Without their request?
Without their request. The only thing you can do, if you want, is Well, I mean, if she said to do it, I would hand deliver it. I would make an appointment and go hand deliver it to her.
Yeah.
Or wait for the RFE and just when you go and do the medical, ask the doctor for 2 sealed medicals. So you can bring one down. You only have to take 1 medical and then have a second one in your hand if they get the RFE. I would do it that way too. If she said
right, but have you ever seen this kind of situation? Like, after
all the
interview,
time.
they
all the time.
transfer it back to their
All the time. They screw everybody.
Yeah, it's really sad after waiting all these months.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, thank you very much, guys, and I appreciate what you guys doing.
Okay,
all
thank
right.
you. Okay. All right, but at least you see.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't do his mandamus, but either did it himself or hired somebody. I say it all the time. Mandamus.
Yeah.
I'm filing without my husband, abused husband. So anyway, I got my social and my work permit. But on the work permit, it said I can travel in and out of U.S.
You have advanced
Is that
parole.
possible?
If you have if it's advanced parole on your work permit, the answer is yes.
Okay, I was just scared. But
Don't stay out.
me.
Don't stay out for more than 2-3 weeks.
Huh?
Don't stay out for more than 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, yes, thank you. But now they're telling me now, when I called the lawyer, he said that somebody in the office said for me to get this green card, it's going to be about 3 years. Is that possible?
It's possible. It'll also
2
be
to
tomorrow.
3 years.
It could also be tomorrow. It can also be tomorrow. Every time I talk, she goes, huh? It could also be tomorrow. I don't know when your interview is going to be, but it'll be at some point. We see interviews coming in 6-9 months. I just saw on my website on a Google review somebody for an adjustment that I told the woman it was going to be 9 months. And she got her green card start to finish in 5 months. I've seen other people take 3 years. So I don't know. We don't know.
Congratulations for the work that you are doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I have a problem here.
What?
I am here like 3 years.
Right.
I got married to an elderly man here in like 5 months now.
Right.
He went to this lawyer, put in the papers. I paid. He filed like I-130.
Right.
I think that is a notice of action, and I'm
Who's
there
the
for a couple.
who's the U.S. citizen? This disabled man?
No, I'm not here on visa.
Who is the
You're on visa,
who is the U.S. citizen?
Who is the U.S.? Oh, the gentleman is the U.S. citizen.
Okay,
Sorry.
so you need a green card. How did you come to America?
I come through. Come through. Right, okay.
What, I don't know what come through. I don't know what come through. What does come through okay mean? Did you come here on a visa?
I got a visa.
Okay.
I got a visa.
So why is he not filed an adjustment application for you?
I think it's that he said an adjustment, but the lawyer only filed a I-35. He hasn't put in no more papers.
An I-130. Then you're going to the wrong lawyer.
Sorry,
you're going to the wrong lawyer. If
I know.
Okay. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you should be filing an I-130, an I-485, an I-765, an I-131, an I-864.
I-130.
The entire adjustment.
I-130.
Just listen. Stop writing.
I-140. I'm sorry.
Just listen. Just listen.
Yes.
If you're hiring a lawyer, you don't need to write all these forms down. You should go to the lawyer and you should say, why didn't you file my adjustment application? And if the lawyer has half a brain, a quarter of a brain, 1/10 of a brain, has ever handled an immigration case before, would know that if you're married to a U.S. citizen, you came here on a visa, you file a full adjustment. And if he says anything other than, I screwed up, sorry about that, then you're with the wrong guy or lady, all right? Because the most basic thing in the world, the most basic case for an immigration lawyer is you're married to an American citizen, came here on a visa, you file an adjustment, not an I-130, and then. Now I'm going to listen to you.
What he's saying, Brad, he's saying no. He only sent off one paper. All the rest of documents, he put my children on it, and all the rest of documents, he's sitting there in his office. He said that I have to pay some tax. I said, I don't have a social work permit, so how should I? Yes, I have to go back and pay tax and bring tax ID and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know.
All right, then come see me.
I got 2 questions, but let me give you my background first. 2014,
Yes.
I got married. So my wife filed for me. I moved here 2016, right?
Right.
But unfortunately, like 4 months ago, we got divorced. I'm just wondering, like in the future when I want to do like citizenship, will that be okay?
Do you have a 10-year green card?
Yes, I do.
All right. So when you entered the U.S., you were already married for more than 2 years.
Yes.
And when you came, you got married in 2014. You entered 2016. You have some evidence somewhere that between 2016 and some period until you separated, you and her lived together.
Yes.
Then you have no worries, okay? Even if you live together for a week, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You got divorced, you got divorced. No one says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage. So 2000.
Because we got like a bank account together, but we didn't file taxes together.
But that's fine. You have some evidence that you lived with her. That's all that matters. You have some evidence it was a bona fide marriage. You now got divorced. You got your green card in 2016 and 2021. You can file for your citizenship.
Okay. One more question now.
Yes.
And I found that I got a child. Like I moved here the July and the child born the June. The paperwork was already in. I think I did something wrong. When I reached at the embassy here, they asked me if I have any kids back home. I think I told them no.
All right. So one second. So Conroy, what you're telling me, okay, and this is a substantial thing, is that you had a child outside of marriage in your home country when you were supposed to be in a bona fide marriage with your wife, and then you lied to the government and said you have no children because if they knew you had a child out of wedlock, they would question the bona fides of the marriage. And then you came here to America and you and your wife got divorced, which would add to the suspicion that this was not a good marriage, which would lead me to believe, why would you tell the world all of this? You should come have a private consultation with me. So hold on one second, Conroy.
Okay, I have a question for a friend. I have a friend, she got her biometrics along with her daughter.
Yes.
A biometric appointment, but what our daughter's Jamaican passport is expired. So my question is, should she reschedule for her daughter's appointment?
No, if she got the biometric already and she didn't show the daughter didn't show up, just show up on any Wednesday with the receipt. They'll let her in and do it. Don't try to reschedule. Just go. Just go on a Wednesday. They'll let you in.
With an expired passport or with a new one?
Well, if you have a new one, it's better than an expired one, but show up with something.
Show with something?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, but if you have a new one, much better, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I have this issue. I played the DV lottery.
You played it?
2000 and... Yeah, let's say apply or play.
Yeah, you applied, right?
Yeah, I applied for the DV lottery 2014.
Right.
So I got married 2015. 2016, I was called that I was selected. So I was made to understand that when you go for the interview, you're supposed to give the information that you filled at the time you applied for the DV. If you played single, if you applied single, you're supposed to give that information. So I went to the embassy and I had my interview. During the interview, I was asked if I was married, and with the understanding that I had to give the information, I filled in the form. I told them no, I was not married. So I came here 2000.
Jonathan, you're 1 second. Let me ask Jonathan as a third party.
All right.
Okay. Would you believe, now listening to this, okay, that when she filled out, I'm just asking Jonathan seriously, and then we're going to help you, okay? Because I'll tell you what I think after.
Okay.
All right. Did you hear what she said?
Yes.
She applied for the visa lottery.
Yes.
Okay. In 2014, she was single. She got married in 2015. When she went to the embassy, she said she was single because she was led to believe that she was supposed to answer how her application was in 2014 instead of what the present situation was. Right. Do you believe that?
No.
No, I don't believe that either.
So the thing is, when you apply, you don't know you'll be selected.
I understand that, but now you made basically a misrepresentation. You said you were single when you were married. Nobody's going to buy that one.
I was single when I was married.
You were. You went to embassy and you filled out forms that says you're single when
yes.
you're married. Nobody buys that. That's not a good excuse. I'm just telling you the truth. All right, you made a misrepresentation. You're here now, and now you want to get your husband. All right, explain.
Okay, let me explain everything that has gone to, like, what my worry is. So when he went to the embassy, he was denied a visa. And the reason why he was denied a visa is because at the time I came to the United States, I was married. But when they asked me if I was married, I told them I was single. I told them I was not married. Yes, I was single. So I don't know what to do.
So you just answered. They answered what I said and what Jonathan said is nobody buys that excuse. So they're saying there's some lying, some misrepresentation, and they can't take it out on you because you're already here, but they're going to take it out on your husband. So, but nobody believes. That's not believable what you said. Just not a believable situation. That you answered the questions as you understood it from 2 years ago. So I think at this point you would need a consultation, and I think we have to figure out how to, navigate all of this. And my opinion, without knowing a lot about this, would be that I would argue as a lawyer, because this is what misrepresentation is. Is it a material fact? Material meaning that if we knew this information, we would have come up with a different decision, or it would have affected the decision of whether to give you a green card or not. For the visa lottery, whether you are single or married has no effect, zero effect on whether you would have gotten that green card. If you showed up in 2016 and said I'm single, or you said I'm married, you would have had the same, I would argue, you would have the same resolution, which is you would have gotten your green card. Because
no, I have the green card.
You're not listening to me.
Oh, okay.
You're not listening to me. Okay? Everything you said is not believable. They are saying you lied. You made a misrepresentation. You said you were single when you were married. It's a big freaking lie. You're a liar. You already got your green card, and now you want to get your husband here. Well, we don't give green cards to liars. That's what they're saying. And you come up with an excuse that says, well, I thought that. Nobody believes that. It's not a believable story. So I'm saying to you, you're going about this all the wrong way. The argument should be, if I was your lawyer, this is what my argument would be. It was not material, meaning it didn't matter whether you were single or married, because the same result, the same result would have happened. You would have got a green card. Whether you lied or told the truth on your marriage had no effect on you getting a green card, because you won the visa lottery, and the only thing you got to prove for the visa lottery is here's my winning ticket and I graduated high school. Period. So, that's what I would do if I was your lawyer. All right, so hold on 1 second. You want to tell me more? I think you've said enough. Yes.
I came in 1999 with that status. In 2001, employer A filed a petition I-140 for me.
Right.
When
this is the important question. When in 2001?
April 30th. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that.
So you're 245I.
Correct. That's the thing. So anyhow, my employer went out of business, and he never followed up with the request from immigration.
Okay.
Because he went out of business. So pretty much the application was abandoned.
Okay.
So now my son turns 21-year-old.
Uh-huh.
We submit an application, I-130,
yes,
485, and 65, the whole deal.
How did you come to the United States, Omar?
Without a status, illegally, pretty much.
All right, so if you entered without inspection and you had a labor application filed before April 30th, 2001, the regulations say every labor application filed before April 30th, 2001 is a bona fide application. So as long as you have a bona fide application in before April 30th, 2001, and it was denied because your employer went out of business, you're grandfathered, you should be able to pay a penalty fee. That's my answer. No matter what immigration says.
Oh, okay, here's the deal. I just had my interview on Monday.
Yes.
Here in El Paso, Texas.
Right.
And the officer didn't deny my application, my petition, pretty much, but he gave me a letter for 30 days to bring more evidence. which you said that my application should have the labor certification approved in order for me to grant that.
That is not the law.
Correct. But I need a lawyer like you to represent me.
Correct. Hold on one second. We're all in agreement with Omar. Oh, that's good. Yeah, finally. Somebody agrees with Brad.
Correct.
Hold on one second, Omar.
Yes, I got an interview date, but I missed the interview date back in February. So my case got denied. I filed a 290B, and I got my case reopened in July. I filed for the work permit, which I got. So how long you think afterwards I can get an interview?
I'm going to ask the Magic 8 Ball when you're going to get an interview. You got denied. You made a motion to reopen. It got granted. Just so you know, when you make your motion to reopen to get granted because your first interview got denied for whatever reason, you're at the back of the line. It's as if you filed again. Before I ask the Magic 8 Ball, when was your motion granted?
It was granted in July.
All right. So somewhere between 9 months to 3 years from July, you will get your interview. To get an exact answer beyond that, I would have to ask the Magic 8 Ball.
I don't think he needs
So, what would you suggest me doing? A mandamus or something to try to speed it up?
No, because the government hasn't done anything wrong until they haven't scheduled you for 12 months from when the motion was granted. So next July, if you still don't have an answer, then you would do a mandamus.
In January coming, I'm planning on applying for my citizenship.
Yes.
However, I wanted to know if it's possible I could file for my son. He's 31 years old and he's also married.
Not until you're a citizen.
Yeah, I know, not until I'm a citizen.
Yeah,
I was wondering if I could do it.
Once you're a citizen, yes, but it's going to be about 10, 12 years.
Oh, well. Okay, the next question is, I met a lady friend a few years ago, and she's from Jamaica. What she told me is that years ago, like maybe 20-something years ago,
right,
she was granted a visa. But at the time, she was living with a man who she wasn't married to. When she went to apply for the visa, she applied for the visa in his name. Like she take on his name.
Right.
However, she and that person break up. She met somebody else. She got married. All the time she was living in Jamaica. It's been like 12, 13 years. He came down and he got married to her. She just came up like a year ago, and he filed for her now.
Now
they went for it.
And they said, they went for an interview, and they said, wait a second, you lied 30 years ago and said you were married when you weren't. They're catching everybody.
So they went back in the system and find out that.
So she has to go. I'm going to tell you what needs to happen now. She needs to go to the National Record Center in Jamaica, do a search through all 14 parishes, prove there was never a marriage to this man, and then go back to immigration, say, you see, I'm not a bigamist, I'm basically a liar, misrepresentation, and then file a waiver.
Okay, she was trying to explain to her that she could use you, but she's all the way in Connecticut. Is it possible she could use you from there?
She can, and we have an office in Connecticut in Hartford.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I'll let her know.
Yeah, and by the way, we can handle cases in all 50 states.
I had a pending misdemeanor charge in Columbia, South Carolina here, but it is time for me to remove the condition of my green card. So.
Well, go do it, because you got to file it, but they're not going to make a decision until they see what happens with your criminal case.
Oh, okay. They're not going to make a decision.
What's the misdemeanor for?
Item represented. I receiving item represented as stolen.
All right, so some sort of stolen property. Go file. Hopefully it doesn't turn into anything deportable, but your case will be pending until the resolution to the criminal case.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
So I got here on the country in 2013. I got my green card in 2015. And
okay. How'd you get your green card?
I made some stupid mistakes. I got arrested twice. First in 2015, and then one this year. How would that affect my for when I apply for my citizenship?
What were your stupid mistakes? And how did you? First, how did you get your green card? Second, what were your stupid mistakes?
Okay, I got my green card for the Cuban Adjustment Act, the CU6.
Got it.
Yep.
All right, and then which is that you were here for more than a year in Cuban, and you can just get your green card. And what was your stupid mistakes?
I was arrested for petty larceny.
And what happened with that?
Shoplifting.
What happened with the case?
Well, they both were dismissed. I got the ACD.
Both
That's
were
what
ACD?
they call.
When was the last ACD?
Actually, right now, this one, they gave me 6 months and expired in March next year, the
All
17th.
Right. So 5 years from March of next year, that's when you file your citizenship.
Well, that's the question. I'm married. I got married last month with the U.S. citizen, so we both got married.
So then it's going to be 3 years if you're in a bona fide marriage with a U.S. citizen. You didn't have to get your green card through the U.S. citizen. As long as you can prove you're in a bona fide marriage with a U.S. citizen, then it's 3 years. But you can't prove good moral character until the ACD is done, which would be March. So presuming you remain in a bona fide marriage with your U.S. citizen spouse for several years, it would be March 2023 when you file your citizenship, also presuming you don't do anything else stupid.
Yeah, well, in 2023, my green card should expire. So is that a good idea to apply for my citizenship that time?
Yeah, you do both.
I mean, I shouldn't have any problem for that, right?
You will not.
Unless
both cases were dismissed, number one. Number two, they can't deport you anyway. Cuba doesn't take back anybody from the United States. But number three, you don't have any cases that would make you ineligible for citizenship other than you got to wait out this good moral character.
Okay, so I should be fine. I can become a citizen,
in
right?
2023, yes.
Yeah, okay. And my other question is, Mr. Brad, so right after I finish my pending ACD, I'm planning next year to go to Barcelona, to Spain. Is that a good thing? Can I travel?
As long as you don't have any criminal record, yes. You have arrests and they were dismissed. Travel with both dismissals, so if there's any problem with the airport, you can show them.
Yeah, I spoke with my lawyer first, and then he told me, yeah, I was charged with petty larceny, but I was not convicted. Therefore, no prior record, no police record.
If both cases were ACD, that's adjourned in contemplation.
Both of them were ACD.
Then you do not have a criminal record. Just wait out the end of the ACD and don't do anything else stupid. Travel with the 2 dispositions showing it went from ACD to dismissed, and you'll be fine.
So the best advice for you is wait then the 3 years and then apply for my citizenship, right?
Correct. You can apply for your citizenship now. Nothing bad will happen to you. You're just going to waste your time and money. So wait the 3 years for good moral character.
Okay, but definitely I would become a
correct. Assuming you stay in a bona fide marriage with your spouse, assuming you don't do anything else stupid, the answer is yes.
Okay, so what if I want to hire you for representing me at the time of the interview? Is that possible?
Then call me in 2023. I'll be around.
I would feel more comfortable.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.